Treasurer and Megan Helms, our volunteer coordinator, are otherwise occupied this morning, although Megan said she may be back in time for the end of the meeting. I do want to just extend a special welcome. Again, it's our first meeting of 2021 under the best of the worst of circumstances in the midst of a pandemic. We are so grateful to be able to be here in school at Frederica. We are so grateful for everything that the school has done for our children. And we as parents really want to extend a shout out to the school for all that they're doing to keep our students safe and learning and active. Our keynote speaker today is Helen Wren. She's going to be talking about the FA brand a little bit and the upcoming open house and all the things that she does in order to bring the Frederica name to our local communities here in the Golden Isles and to the broader community nationally and internationally. And then following that, we're going to have a very brief update by Nikki Pope, who's our school nurse. Dr. Tess Nielsen, who's our Director of Fine Arts, is also going to give us a brief update on fine arts. And Elizabeth Powell and Dan Carter are going to give us a quick update on the Derby Day. So we're going to get a lot of information there, and then we're going to have our brief meeting, and we've got lots of other opportunities for parents to sign up and help out. We've got so many things coming up this in the next few months, so we appreciate your support. So with that, I'm going to welcome Helen.
Thank you, Martha. Can everyone hear me if I talk with my mask on, with the microphone? Thank you. Okay, so thank you for the opportunity to be here today. It's nice to see everyone. Thank you for coming out in this week, which I feel like I've lost track of what day it is with the short week. So thank y'all for coming. But I'm just going to talk to you a little bit about what's happening today at the admission office and what's coming in the coming months. If you have questions about the admission process or what might be taking place in other times of the admission season, I'm happy to share that with you. But today I'm really just going to be looking at this next season ahead for admissions and what that looks like. Give me a second. John, do you mind just click? Thank you. Okay, so how enrollment, I wanted to get these dates in front of you first. How this might affect you is that we are about to launch our re-enrollment season. So that's going to be an opportunity for everyone to re-enroll their students for the 21-22 school year. So we first start by, on February 1st, we launch our financial aid application for families that are receiving or requesting financial assistance for the coming school year. And then on February 8th, we will launch our re-enrollment. So for each of those launches, you will receive an email with instructions, very explicit instructions on how to complete the re-enrollment process. I know we have some in here that may be new to that process, so there will be explicit instructions on how to complete that. The deadline for completing both financial aid and re-enrollment are March 1, and if you wish to take advantage of the early bird discount, which is $300 per student for re-enrolled, fully paid students by March 1. That is the deadline, March 1, for re-enrollment paying in full for the 21-22 school year. For families that are applying for financial aid this year, we will make those reviews for the first couple weeks of March and make announcements in mid-March. And then once we've made announcements for our current families, we'll move on to prospective families. All the while, we are going to be working on, while we're re-enrolling, we are going to be working on recruiting potential new students for the 21-22 school year. So I just wanted to take just a kind of a moment to say where we are in terms of enrollment at Frederica right now. We welcome 9 new students here, and we have the parent of one, Ms. Hagforce, here today. So did want to introduce Jen. Hagforce moved here, or as parent of one. She's one parent of 2 new students that we welcomed here. She has Jensen in 2nd grade and Anderson in 4th grade. So do welcome Jen. She's eager to get involved in our school community and our broader community as well. So 9 new students were welcomed this January, which is wonderful to infuse for our new students and our student body. A total of 95 new students for this school year, bringing enrollment to 398, which we're very pleased with. To set that stage, on the next slide, you'll see where we started with our new students on opening day. So we're very pleased with growth and enrollment with our new students. Several years ago, a few years ago, we were very much grappling with, here on Georgia's coast, we really can only recruit from the north, south, and west. We have to kind of go that way. And it was a bit of a struggle that we didn't have an east side to recruit from. But we had to flip our lens on that, because that east side, that ocean, the Atlantic Ocean and the beautiful beaches are a perfect recruitment tool. And because of that, we are seeing some wonderful families that are relocating to our area because of just that. Because we don't have an east side to recruit from, we have the oceans and the beaches. So again, just flipping your perspective to say this isn't a shortcoming. This is obviously a beautiful asset to our school and our broader community. Just to give you a comparison of how the kind of new student enrollment timeline looks like, people are surprised that we enroll more than half of our students after Memorial Day. So while this will be a busy spring for Frederica, our summers are typically even busier. So you'll see that bottom number of 24. That was a little concerning for us, particularly me in admissions in the midst of a global pandemic. But we more than made up for that post-Memorial Day. It was an incredibly busy summer for a total of 85 new students, as I shared, with 95 total. So we typically gain anywhere from 4 to 14 new students over the course of the school year. So this year's we're at 10, and I do anticipate 1 or 2 more that are on my pipeline. So we'll be right at the high end of new students joining us this year. My internal goal is to exceed 400 before we close out the school year, but that is certainly our goal for starting enrollment for 21-22 school year, is to be at or above 400 students. And to that end, this is just a look at where our opening day numbers have been. This is obviously a historical look at it dating back to 1984. You can see where obvious things in the market have impacted enrollment, the big rise, and then the fall. And you can see we're starting to steady out a bit, but we do want to continue that trend line upwards. This is just an easier way of taking a look with the numbers, but it has been a steady couple of years, and we anticipate more growth, and we believe that is coming from a steady leadership. Scott Hutchinson's being our head of school has been incredible. I think our families are feeling his stability, and please know that he is, as we all are on the leadership team, available to speak with you. If you have any questions or concerns, we always want you to know that our doors are open to speak to you about your children. So, looking ahead a bit, does anyone have any questions on that part? Stop me at any point in time. So looking ahead a bit, the first kind of kickoff to our admission season is our Hands-On Frederica event, which is this Saturday. There was an email that went out earlier this week, as well as the Sunday email that has details about the link, I should say, to sign up for Hands-On Frederica. If you haven't participated at this event in the past, it is a really great, fulfilling event. It's an opportunity to come on campus, bring your children, and work on projects big and small that make a huge difference in how our campus looks. And we do this to prepare as we kind of roll out the green carpet for our for our open house events. So there are ways to get involved, again, big and small, at Hands-On Frederica. Come for a long time, a short time. We're just so appreciative. It'll be fun work. So we hope to see you on Saturday. Next up is open house. John, thank you. So hopefully you received a postcard and are seeing posters in our community. Thank you to the many parents in this room that helped me distribute those posters. I could not have done it without you. Kimbrough helped me with the village, and then I took over from her on Sunday, and it's a big task, just even having one subset of the community. So I really appreciate your help on that. It would take me a long time to get all those done. So thank you, and I'm hearing from prospective families via phone or email or text that I saw your poster, I want to learn more. So we have our open house the 1st through the 5th. Each day we highlight a separate division. Monday is just a general tours day for kind of us in the admission office to make sure we're fully ready. But for families that just want to see the campus in general. But on Tuesday we feature our pre-K and kindergarten. Wednesday is 1st through 4th, because as you know, 5th grade will be moving to middle school. So middle school is on Thursday, 5th through 8th, and then Friday is 9th through 12th. And at these open house events, we have teachers and students speaking, administrators. We really welcome our current parents to come. It's super helpful for me to have parent ambassadors there to share your story, to talk about how Frederica has impacted you or your children. Also, sometimes I hope I'm not intimidating. I don't want to be, but the process is to our new families. So to have someone that these parents can talk to when they come, to just hear about, tell me how you came here and what your children like about it, is very helpful for these families. So I'll be sending out an email possibly tomorrow or over the weekend with a sign up to be on campus for one of those days, or as many as you like, to just be at the open house events. Again, it's at 10, or not again, excuse me, it's at 10 o'clock. And then we have general campus tours afterwards. When you're, John, if you'll head to the, I'll get there in a second. But here, so would love for you to just invite friends, any neighbors that you know of, potential families that you feel like would be a good fit for Frederica. Put them in contact with me, drop a postcard by their house. Those families that you might go to church with, or your children play soccer with, or play sport with, or dance, let them know about this event. I think they feel so, a family cannot know where to start with the admission process, particularly when they're in, in this community or new to the community. So having someone from the school reach out is so strong, and I'm happy to be that person. So if you want to put me in contact with them, or if you feel like the first step should be maybe you contacting them first, that is great as well. So just share any information or family information, that's great. But also, as I mentioned, I will share a link where you can sign up to be here, and you can even bring that friend with you. I'll pick you up, I'll get you at 10 o'clock, and we'll go see the programming. You're in for a treat. So consider doing that, greeting guests, sharing your story. We'll have student-led tours. Our ambassadors are on campus, and they will do tours throughout the campus after the programming each day. And you're welcome to accompany them. It's great for you to learn a little bit more about areas of the campus you may not have been as familiar with. And I will provide all volunteers with some frequently asked questions and kind of cheat sheet notes, just to say as you're going through a tour, or questions that a parent might ask. So beyond open house, many families will say, how can I help? I'm not able to attend open house, but what can I be doing to grow my child's class or grow our school? And so it starts simple. I know we spend so much time on our phones, which, if you heard from Chris McKenna, we really need to kind of rein that in. But if you see a post on Facebook or Instagram or Twitter from Facebook, please like it, share it, tag us, comment, or create your own, thoughtful, positive post about the school if you feel comfortable. We love that. Word of mouth advertising and parent testimonials are so compelling to prospective families looking at Frederica. I can tell a family all day long about the wonderful attributes of our school, but when it comes from a parent, it really goes a long way. So don't be shy in sharing your love of Frederica through social media or sharing our posts. You'll be seeing kind of us ramp up here before open house, so feel free to tag a friend that you think might want to attend, or even screenshot it and send them over to them. Also, in that same vein, is for families that may not be familiar with our community, they first start on the internet looking at Frederica, and so they may often come across some of these sites, which you may or may not be familiar with, which kind of give Frederica and other independent schools just kind of an overview, how many students, the AP courses they offer. But there's a place on these websites to write reviews. And those reviews, again, are where parents are looking. And sometimes we take for granted these sites, and I'll actually be sending an email probably in the next couple of weeks with an invitation to write a review. So I'll link to these, so be on the lookout for that. But again, just a great, when you have a free minute, you're in Carline, send a quick review, just, 3 sentences of how it's been great for your family, or if you feel compelled, even longer. So, and then another incentive that we have for sharing your story is our Refer a New Night program. So I just wanted to remind everyone about this program. It is for any new family that you bring to Frederica through your testimony, through just sharing. You've got to call Helen. Call Helen. Call the school. By doing that and getting them in the admission process, should they enroll a new student in kindergarten through 11th grade, for each new student that they enroll, you will receive a $500 tuition credit. So you can still do it for this year even. So at any point that a student enrolls, if you refer them, and all I just need to know is I hear that through the admission process and I send that family a referral form and they complete it, and then Mitzi will credit your account. Say that you pay tuition in full by the early bird discount, to get the early bird discount in March, but you refer someone over the summer, we can still credit your account. It can go towards your consumable fee, lunch fees, spirit packs, that sort of thing. So just something to keep in mind. You can learn more on the website. So just lastly, we're so pleased with where Frederica is right now. Enrollment is at a really strong place, but we've got great momentum and we want to grow the school. Scott is providing such strong leadership that everyone is just so enthused, and our new families have brought new vibrancy to our community. Our existing families have been loyal and just reaffirming of what we're doing here. So, share that with your neighbors, your coworkers, your clients, any chance you can. I think if you have free time during open house, even just coming to listen is really reaffirming. I even feel that when I sit in the lower school open house and I hear Ms. Pruitt or a 5th grade student talk about their experience here, or an upper school student talk about their memories of being here, and here they have Duke or Bucknell or Vanderbilt at their door, it gives you chills. So come to open house, listen to the stories, and if you're feeling so inclined, share yours as well. So I think that's all I have. I've taken a lot of your time.
Okay, anybody have any questions? Here today too, do you have any questions live stream narrative for Helen?
I'll let you know. But thank you so much, Helen. And I have one question, and that is, do you have postcards, or could you bring around some postcards that we can leave if anybody wants to take them? That'd be fantastic. No, that's okay. That's awesome.
Before you adjourn.
And we appreciate everything that you're doing to help this school grow, and we'd like to help again by helping out at open house, attending open house, encouraging students to come find out what Frederica is all about, and also at hands-on Frederica on Saturday, which we'll talk more of. I'd like to hand the lead mic over to Nikki Pope, our wonderful school nurse, who's going to give us a school wellness update.
So when Martha asked me to speak, it's obviously we're going to just talk about COVID just a little bit, nothing overwhelming, because there's so many aspects of COVID that can just bog you down. Even me, sometimes it just, I just have to walk away from it and, take a minute. to think about it. I am a parent of 2 kids that go to school here. I have an 11th grader and a 7th grader, and they despised when we closed down last year. So when we started school this year, that was my goal, is to try to keep school open. And so working with Scott and the rest of the staff, they've been amazing, and we kind of knew coming back after the Christmas holidays that there might be some bumps in the road. When you look at Lake County's numbers right now, they're pretty bad when it comes to COVID. My husband's a clinical pharmacist at the hospital, so I have a lot of inside scoop there as to what's going on. Just yesterday in Lake County, there were 47 new cases. Since we have started back, our average of faculty and students that have had to be out in isolation or quarantine has been from 40 to 49, which is a lot when you look at about 400 students. Most of those have been primary contacts, but we have had the largest amount of positive cases that we've had all year. I myself had it. I just came back on Friday, and I'll tell you it was rough. I don't ever want to have it again, and everyone is affected differently with COVID. I didn't have respiratory symptoms. Martha, you did have you did not. Yeah, you did. You did, absolutely, yes. Yes, she had respiratory. I did not have the muscle aches and the joint pain and the headache. It was awful. And I know with the students, most young people do okay with COVID. They may have a few symptoms, a cold like, maybe mild flu. And so I had a teenager, well, I have 2 teenagers, my son's 13. They think they're invincible. And, but when I try to tell them, I try to give them the bigger picture. And what we're seeing right now is probably the worst with the staff that has to go out. Because when staff goes out and subs go out, then we're left trying to get people to cover the classes. So I don't think the teenagers really get that part, is that they're passing it on to teachers, and then the teachers go out. That's pushing us a little bit closer to having to close school for a little bit. So yesterday, as of this morning, we have 7 faculty and staff out. That's a lot. Most of them are primary, which means a little bit about what a primary contact is. The CDC says a primary contact is anyone that is with a positive person, a positive case, for 15 minutes or more cumulative. So I could be with Dana 5 minutes this hour, 5 minutes next hour, but if it adds up to 15 minutes and I have COVID, she's considered a primary contact. Within 6 feet, with or without a mask, and we look 2 days prior to either symptom onset or the test. So it's a lot. We don't really expect you guys to know all that. That's what I'm here for. But when someone calls me and tells me they've tested positive, if they've been at school or around students outside of school or teachers, then I have to make a list of everyone that's considered a primary contact, go talk with them, and put them in quarantine. A positive person does isolation, which means they should not be around anyone. Quarantine means you've been identified as someone that's been around someone with COVID, and you need to go home and limit how much you're out with people. So it's a little bit different, and people wonder. So most of our people right now are out as primary contacts. But we do have, like I said, the highest amount of COVID positives that I've seen, even going down into middle school. Before Christmas, we didn't see any students in middle school that were positive, and we've seen a few now. I've yet to have a lower school child test positive for COVID. It doesn't mean that it can't happen. What we're doing right, we have not had one single student go out as a primary contact from a positive teacher. That means in our classrooms, we're doing it right. High school, the seats are 4 miles apart. The public schools, in contact with their nurses, they don't really have that option because their classes are bigger. We don't have more than 15 students in a class in high school, so that's really a positive. In the middle school, when one of our teachers tested positive, I went and looked at her class. The desks don't move. She was great about staying away from the students, being at the desk, being up at the board. No students have gone out because of the teacher. That's a good thing. That looks really good. The kids are wearing their masks. I was worried in the beginning about the lower school. They've done amazing. They're so resilient. They wear their mask, if the mask break. They come, ask for another one, so they've done really well with that. What I think we have to work on is the high school kids, they're just social by nature. I have a junior, I know, they just like to be together and be close. And that's where we're seeing, so we're having to push a little more at lunch, at breaks, saying, hey guys, don't sit in each other's laps. I mean, don't be huddled. And that's just, it's the nature of the game. So that's what we're asking. If you have your children, especially the older ones, just talk to them about this. We have to get through this. We want school to stay open. We want them to have, their milestones. I know Elizabeth has a senior. We want them to have the things that, that normal high school experience. So that's just our goal. Are there any questions about this? I know it's a lot. I have the dashboard that's up every week that I update the numbers, and I do a report to the state every week on the numbers. So you can kind of see there, that's how many people are out that week from each division, from the staff. And you can always call me if you have a question. When someone goes out, whether it's student or teacher, I send an email that kind of gives them their timeline and how to quarantine or how to isolate, and just kind of stay in contact with them. Yes.
I know Scott had put this in an email, I'm just not 100% sure I fully understood it. But I know there's like a 20% threshold that he was saying that would be a closure. Now, is that like a compartmentalized closure? So high school can close, but lower school can stay open?
It depends on how our numbers are looking. We discussed both options. If it looks like it's high school, if it looks like it's a certain grade, we have that option of doing that. The way it has been, it's been scattered throughout school. Like high school has had those numbers, but then middle school was creeping up that second week. So it just depends. He is looking at the high school population for that 20%, since they're the ones that are mainly the contacts that go out. That's what he was looking at. We have not, I think the highest we were at was about 18% at one time. Now I've had, and that was because the two basketball teams went out. There was one person that was positive on each team, and they had practiced. Just as a precaution, we sent them all to quarantine. Now they're coming back, so the numbers tend to drop. But then if a whole family goes out, it brings maybe 5 more back in quarantine. We're definitely trying not to get that, but from what we're planning is if 20% of the high school goes out for a grade length, that would, and then we could just look at the divisions to see.
Yeah, and just to clarify that,
Yeah.
Scott, I think try to be careful in saying that the 20% wouldn't automatically trigger it.
Right.
The 20% would trigger a deeper investigation into what we should do.
So if you had, in the beginning of the year, I always throw my daughter's grade under the bus, the junior class, which is our biggest in the high school, I think there's close to 50 kids in that grade, they did. That was where a lot of the numbers were coming from. And so we said, do we shut the junior and senior class down for 2 weeks, send them home and let them kind of get it together? It didn't come to that, thankfully. And that's what we kind of look at trends. Like, is this a pocket of, say, this little group of friends because they're all a tight-knit grade? Or is it scattered, across the school, which is what we're seeing now? So it just depends on the situation at that point. If it got too bad, we would certainly try to keep as many divisions open.
They're all elementary.
Exactly. And, with the lower school, I was talking to one of the teachers, we haven't seen as many. It's usually dependent on someone older that they've been around that's had it. And just a lot of parents being super precautious, which is amazing. I love it when you guys call me, ask me questions. Honesty is the big thing. I don't want anyone to feel like because you have COVID that you have a scarlet letter on you. It's not, I know, you're like, oh, I have
It
COVID.
was our first call.
Yeah.
I got positive before I even got in the car. I'm like, what do I do?
My daughter was like, are you seriously about to swear when you have COVID at school? And I said, yes, that's where it comes. I mean, we have to be honest with each other. It's not you can catch it by any means, any way. And being honest with each other helps protect, other people. So I don't want anyone to ever feel like because you have COVID that we're, it's not going to be a witch hunt, it's not going to be anything like that. So I was very honest from the beginning. I got it. No one in my family got it, but they all had to quarantine. So we've been there, and the tears and the I want to go to school. But that's a big thing. It's just the honesty there. So call me if you have questions, and I'll talk you through. I don't want to go over all the quarantine rules and all that. It's just
Thanks so much. We appreciate that. Thanks. And can we give Nikki a hand too? Because she does keep us, she helps so much keep our community safe and help giving us all of the guidelines and parameters and all the things we as parents can do. And everybody at home too thinking, what can we do to encourage our kids? And my daughter's in high school, 9th grade, and I know they want to be together and, sit a little farther apart at lunch or do something. So thank you.
Think about that 15 minutes. If you need to tell your friend a secret, you need to sit there and tell her.
Tell the secrets in less than 15 minutes. I like that. That'll be our new rule. No secrets, but if you have to, 15 seconds would be good. I'm sorry, I got a little off my schedule. I'd like to introduce Dr. Tess Nielsen. Tess is our Director of Fine Arts, and she's going to talk to us a little bit about some upcoming events in her department. In a little while, we're going to talk a little bit more about sign-ups for a new Fine Arts Committee that the Parent Association is forming, and we're looking for leadership for that committee, and we're looking for volunteers for that committee. And I do have sign-up sheets here for the Fine Arts Parent Helpers Committee, we're calling it right now. It's kind of a working title, and we have some other opportunities here we'll let you know. But again, we're starting the new committee, and we're thrilled to Fine Arts Parent Helpers, again, to help out at all the various things we have going on.
Thank you, Martha. Good morning, everybody. I am so happy to be here today. I'm going to speak to you about two things that are happening in the spring. First, the lower school musical and the middle upper school musical. And then I'm also going to preview our visiting artist, Kevin Bongang. So these are two big events that are happening, several big events that are happening in the spring. First of all, the 5th grade play is going on as scheduled, safely, and with all of our COVID precautions. That evening is March 11th, and of course, as we have this tradition of the 5th grade play, the parents are very involved with the 5th grade play. It's something that 5th graders look forward to each and every year. I also wanted to assure everybody that with the 5th and 6th grade transition moving together next year, that this 5th grade play will remain a part of the curriculum. No changes to the 5th grade play as we start to form a new middle school program. For the middle and upper school play, the dates for that are March 25th, 26th, and 27th. We are presenting Little Women, and it is a beautiful production. Again, we are practicing all of our COVID precautions in rehearsals. We have masks, we are social distance. We're hoping by the time we get to March, we'll be able to make some decisions about the staging of this play. Parent involvement in this play is also, we really do need the parents to be involved. I'm going to be sending out very soon the list of the props we're looking for. And if you have a theater kid, we always need the snack moms to help out. The play takes place in Victorian era, so we'll be looking for a lot of those Victorian-themed props, if you have those at home on the prop list. So 2 things to look forward to. Next year, if we come back to our new normal, the vision and focus for theater is that we have the 5th grade play. The middle school will have its own production as an extracurricular production, and then the upper school can have its own production, and that way the middle school students really do get a chance to shine. The second thing I wanted to talk about was our visiting artist coming in February 22nd through 26th. You'll be hearing more about Kevin Bongang, who is a nationally known artist, but he lives here locally in Brunswick. He's coming in to work with all grades of students, pre-K through 12, will be in all of the art classrooms, and that project will be to create panels that we're going to place around the school. So just keep your eyes open for these beautiful panels that are coming up. And with that, I hope you have a good morning. I'll turn it back over to Martha. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Tess, and thank you also for live streaming. For those of you who are home watching, Meredith said she'd send you the link for sign-ups electronically. Okay, let's see. And now we have Elizabeth Powell and Dana Carter giving us an update on Derby Day. Elizabeth and Dana are co-chairs of Derby Day, and they're here to let us know what they're planning for the spring and how we as the parent community can support them in the short term and in the longer term.
Hey y'all, good morning. God, it's so great hearing from Nikki Pope and all the things that the school is doing. I just think the school has done an amazing job this year. And hearing Helen talk about all the things that admissions is doing is amazing. So I'm the mom of a senior, so I'm on my way out. He's my last child. We moved here when my kids were in the 4th and the 1st grade. So my daughter is a junior in college. And my son is, of course, a senior. And it's just been such a great, normal as it can be here. We're so happy to be on a regular school model. All my friends in private schools throughout the state are on hybrid models and weird models, and everybody's just done such an amazing job. So anyway, just thank you all for that. I just kind of wanted to make a general appeal to volunteering. Moving here was the best decision that my husband and I have ever made. Getting involved was something that I kind of had to do. I didn't know anybody here. And for the first time in my life, after leading a really busy career in Atlanta, I was a stay-at-home mom. And I just didn't have any friends here. I didn't have any way to get involved. So I've always loved philanthropy when I've had time for it. So I threw myself into just trying to find a way to get involved here at the school. And 11 years ago, we were still in a recession. There was just no great avenue to do it except just like show up and lay pine straw or plant flowers or remember those days? Or just no other way than to just throw yourself into it. I remember when we started Hands On Frederica, there were like 6 of us in a room talking about it. Now it's got this amazing graphic and all these people show up and it's just an incredible event. Getting involved here at Frederica, your kids will love it. You can make lifelong friends, not just with other parents, but with students. I mean, my children's friends are young adults now. And they're always at our house, and I love their parents, but I also love the administrators and the teachers and the coaches. I mean, it's just been a really, really rewarding. And a lot of y'all are young parents, but I'm looking back over the last 16 years of my life in private school, and it's just been a really important piece of my life. I can almost be weepy about leaving in the spring, although I'm sure Tom Cope will chase me out the door and find a way to nail my pants to the ground. Just kidding. I love you, John. But Derby Day is our signature event. I think I've worked on every committee and chaired every committee here. Sometimes I've been the only committee member and the chairperson, and then 3 people from the school help them set up or take down or whatever. But we don't have some massive private or even publicly funded endowment like a lot of schools in New England or Metro Atlanta have. Our school is super, super smart. Sometimes we're scrappy. But the resources that we are able to get and the things that we are able to make happen at the school on what I know happens, the shoestring, amount of people and budget, it's really amazing. And the thing that I love about Derby Day, which is our signature event, is that it has such a direct impact on your kids. It's just a handful of people who put it on. It brings in, we've had years where it brings in almost $250,000. It's our major fundraising event tied up in tandem with annual fund, but it just has a direct impact on your kids. It helps pay for new teachers and teacher salaries. It can put a roof on one of the buildings. It can pay for so many things, a playground, a wing. It just directly impacts your kids. There's nothing better to get involved with. And I got involved with Derby Day about 7 years ago, just on a committee, just helping. And it's not like you have to be invited to do it. But that's what we're here doing. We want to invite you to do it. If you are somebody who's organized, if you're somebody who's artsy, if you're somebody who's just passionate about the school, if you're somebody who's just wanting to make friends like I was, it's a great way to get involved. I've been so blessed to meet Dana. We've gotten paired up and we have so much in common. I might not have ever met her because she's got, kids that are younger than I have. It's just a great way. And it's a great way to pass down what, graduating parents know to the younger, not younger generation, but just newer parents. And I feel like there's so much that we have done over the years. There's so much information to give, and I would love for some of y'all to get involved and see what we do. Anyway, we're looking for people to be involved with the we do a silent auction, we do a live auction, we do a beautiful event. So if you've never been to Derby Day, it is in conjunction with the running of what is it called?
Kentucky Derby.
The Kentucky Derby, thank you, yes. So we get dressed up, like in our finest Churchill Downs outfits. Normally we have it at retreat. It's about a 4 to 5 hour event, and it's very elegant, very beautiful. The men wear beautiful bow ties, and the ladies wear all their hats. We have a contest for who has the best hat. We have an incredible live auction with 10 to 15 amazing trips. We have artwork. We have just beautiful events that we can bid on. And then we have several hundred silent auction items. We also have a raffle for something amazing, usually some kind of a vehicle. And we have sponsorships. It's just a lovely event. I've worked on probably 4 of the 5 biggest events in philanthropy on the island. And Derby Day is by far the biggest one. People come from all over the community, people who are not even associated with the school. And like I said, like 10 people put it on. So we need more help. We need you to come and be involved, help us. We do go door to door and looking for people to give to our silent auction. Dana is helping to head that up. Just get in touch with us, or you can email Martha. Can they come through the Parent Association? But it's just a great way to get involved. There's of course other ways to get involved in the school too, and I want to encourage that. But Derby Day, if you're somebody who's artistic, there's just a place for everybody in this event. Do you have anything you want to add to that? Okay, that's it.
Thank you so much. Thanks both of you. And for and again, if in the short term you're looking for planners and helpers and facilitators, and if you're interested in that, you can contact Elizabeth or Dana or anyone on the Parent Association. You can send us an email through the Parent Association email. And longer term, we want all parents supporting Derby Day, participating in as much or as far as you possibly can participate, given we don't know where we're going to be COVID-wise, right? So however we can help you, please let us know and keep us posted on all of the various ways that we might be able to support you directly as parents. Yes.
One real quick thing.
Of course.
We're planning on having an event, again, it'll be different, it'll be outdoors, it'll be shorter. But if the world falls apart between now and then, we're also scenario planning on a non-event fundraiser. So the silent auction will be online regardless. Just wanted you to know that, again, we'll just need to be a little more flexible than we have in the past.
Flexibility is the key. Thanks, John. John just mentioned, for those of you at home, if you couldn't hear him, that we have a virtual option should COVID actually get worse, or should things dissolve, I guess, to a point where we can't have an in-person program, that it would be virtual, online, and or some combination thereof. And we are all remaining flexible in all things, as we know. We appreciate all of our parents' support. Thanks, John. And I know you're going to keep us posted on that, particularly as the coming months come up.
May,
It's in May. What are the dates? May 2nd? Okay, May 2nd. Put it on your calendars now, everybody. We want all parents to make a note on your calendars, on your personal phones, all your devices. Derby Day, May 4th. And then stay tuned for all of the details and all of the ways you can help. And if you're interested in serving in a planning role right now, please get in touch with Elizabeth or Dana directly. We're a little bit behind on our parent meeting, but the good news is with 2 of our board members gone, we can go a little bit more quickly. Go ahead. Yeah.
I'm Meredith Flagstead. So I'm just going to have Elizabeth come to all our meetings and tell everyone to volunteer. You said everything I needed to say. Truly though, parent involvement is what is gonna make this school special, and it shouldn't just be the same 10 people. So as Helen said, like, invite friends, invite new parents. This isn't an invite only, like, everyone is encouraged, everyone should get involved, and the more of us that do it, the more robust our events can be, our parent association can be, and the more we can impact our school and our kids, which is why we're here. So you will see, that's been Martha and our biggest goal this year is to grow the parent association, to broaden what we can offer and what we do. It's tough to do in the pandemic, so we can't gather. And the biggest, I put out those emails, the link that say, what do you want to do, how do you want to help? And literally every person says parent social committee, and I'm like, yeah, we're on hold. So 2020.
Might become the parent social media.
Yeah, so if you sign up to do parent social, we will get to you. But anyway, so please keep reading our emails, make sure people know, ask people to volunteer with you. We did want to highlight a couple new committees that we started, so you've heard of us talk, we have a new family committee to support Helen's. After you get admitted and you're a current parent, we want to make sure people know that there's someone they can reach out to, they feel welcome. We've also recently added the teacher helper kind of committee, which is sort of a one-off, raise your hand, come and have fun and help the front office. Keep paying attention for those links. Those are low commitment, easy ways to help out. Thought leadership committees, if you have ideas about things that parents want to hear about, come and talk to me. There's no official committee. You can just come in and we can plan a meeting. It can be as simple as that. So, and then like Tess said, Fine Arts Committee, all those things. The one committee I want to highlight, she can be really brief, but we have revamped our uniform committee to the recycled uniform committee. Kimber Haverstock is going to be running that. And we just wanted to introduce her briefly because you're going to see her around and she's going to turn this into a well-oiled machine.
Thank you, Meredith. My name is Kimber Haverstock, and I'm for a new family this year. I've got a pre-K, son in pre-K, and a daughter in first grade. And yes, we have some fun new changes to we're calling it the Recycled Uniform Committee this year. One thing we've done is we put a bin outside of the Parent Association closet so that kids, you can send your students into school with used uniforms that you no longer need. They can put them in their bags, can you hear me, sorry, and drop them in the bin. So there's going to be a sign that goes up above that bin very soon, I believe. We've also decided to let parents come into the uniform closet at their own, on their own to shop. We have these purchase forms in the closet. They can go in there on their own time. They need to get the key from Mrs. Holt at the front desk. Go in, and then you just have the choice of leaving a check, or you can actually charge it to your family account. But go in at your convenience, and then lock the closet and bring the key back, and there's a little envelope in there. You can put the form in and give it to Mrs. Holt. We are also doing some recycled uniform morning carpool drives this year. The first one is going to be January 27th, so if parents could just clean out their closets and send in bags of uniforms that day, we'll be out there. I'll have some helpers with me in the lower school, middle school carpool line, and we will be collecting any used uniforms that way. And then also, there's going to be the next uniform sale, recycled uniform sale in the second week of February 8th that week. So we'll announce when that date's going to be. I also have two committee members, Andrea Mickelson, who is here, and also parent Katie Hall. So we welcome any new parents that want to join the committee as well. That's about it.
And don't worry, we'll send you reminders. Erica Spade is out of town, so I'm going to do her quick treasury report. This is housekeeping. She said to say the balance sheet right now is a little over $25,000. The poinsettia and greenery sale netted over $9,800. So thank you for all of those of you that supported that and volunteered and helped share in that sale. Helped us spread the word, generate more sales. Our net income is up this year over what it should be to almost $9,000, but that's because we didn't do the back to school barbecue. But we are able to support things like today's lunch.
We didn't have a back to school.
Yes. So we're doing things like teacher luncheons. And then the other news that just is for transparency is we switched from Prime South to Synovus Bank for ease of service and access on our part. So that's it. Thank you so much. And if you have questions, please email me anytime.
Thanks, Meredith. And last but not least, or just a couple of other updates, we have a parent association luncheon going on today. I want to thank Hold on one second. Nope, I got it, sorry. We want to thank the parents in the 4th grade, 7th grade, and 10th grade. Our grade reps, Katie Widener in the 4th grade, Susan Dunn in the 7th grade, and Margot McMinn in the 10th grade. We're providing lunch for today for all faculty. Our faculty appreciation lunch is going on, and we really appreciate all your help in making that a reality. Our next teacher appreciation lunch is March 18th, and that is going to be hosted by the kindergarten class, the 1st grade class, and the 11th grade class together. Our grade reps are Serene Kabaisi, Maureen Bird, and Barry Kaminer. And so they'll be reaching out to parents in the kindergarten, 1st, and 11th grade in order to let you know how you can help with that luncheon. And of course, that's grab and go now because of COVID precautions. We host a teacher appreciation luncheon every couple of months for our faculty and staff, and because of COVID precautions, it's grab and go, so our teachers are really, really appreciative of that. I'd also like to send a special thank you to the Walker family and the Johnson family, Kim Johnson and Brooke Walker, for bringing such a great program to our middle schoolers here on screen safety. It was phenomenal, and we so appreciate their willingness to bring speakers in and to provide information to our parent community, and we just want to give them a shout out. And if you see them, make sure Kim and Brooke tell them that thank you so much. And we're looking to also bring in speakers like that as an association, so if you have any ideas for topics or for speakers, if you know anybody who would be good for our parent community, pre-K through 12th grade, let me know. And again, even this one was more for middle school, so it can be a little bit more targeted. Let me just double check and make sure I don't have anything else. Megan has sign-ups, Meredith mentioned, for new parent helpers in the front office. That's helping Catherine Holt. And check for links for that. I do have sign-ups here if you're interested for the new Fine Art Parents Helpers Committee to help Kimbrough and her people in the Recycled Uniform Committee, and also for the Fine Arts Parents Helper uniforms and office help. And did I miss any?
And
Okay.
you can put on the general sign or just email Parent Association.
Excellent. Excellent. And I think that's it. Anybody have any questions? Right now, again, and I do have, Helen was kind enough to bring posters and the postcards. So if you're interested in helping us distribute them, that's great. I'd like to make an extra special welcome to our new families. Thank you again for coming. And we can't wait to meet everyone new to Frederica. And if everyone can sign up for Hands on Frederica, that's my last call. Hands on Frederica this Saturday. My family last year showed up and they handed Katie a paintbrush. She was in 8th grade and she painted the floor here in Hamilton Hall. So the projects are very diverse, very varied. It's whatever they need, and it's a great way to show our kids how to give back to a community that gives to us every single day. Okay, that's it. Thank you again. See you.